Last time, I caught my final team member, Heatran, which means I have a few more legendaries to catch. Latios and Latias, the 4 Reggies, and the Weather Trio. And for Arceus, that comes a lot later, as I said before. And then there's Fione. Although I do have a Ditto in my PC, I just haven't bred it with the Manaphy that's also in my PC as of yet. But I'll be sure to do that later on. Anyway, by my count, there are 3 items here that require rock climb, so we'll get out of here once I grab those 3 items. So in the meantime, let me ask you something. Are you ready to start spinning? I hope you are, because that 5-star Milcery Terror Battle event is currently happening as of right now, in honor of Valentine's Day. And that event ends on the 16th, so if you want to get yourself a 5-star Milcery, now is the time to do so. So it's level 75, its ability could be either Sweet Veil or its hidden ability Aroma Veil. Its Terra type and nature, absolutely random. So it knows the moves Entrainment, Misty Terrain, Dazzling Gleam, and Acid Armor. And its additional moves, Sweet Scent and Charm. Now for the most part, you really shouldn't struggle against that Milcery because it doesn't have a very high base stat total. I believe its base stat total is 270, so that Milcery should be a piece of cake. Now, before I made this video, I did capture a Milcery for myself, and it was easy. Its Terra type was fighting, so I was able to use my Azumarill against that thing. 1 Belly Drum plus 1 Play Rough equals 1 hit KO. Now, it is worth mentioning that Milcery's physical defense isn't as impressive as its special defense. I believe its base defense is 40, just like its physical attack stats, so yeah, it is recommended that you use physical attacking moves against Milcery. Also, the only thing that Milcery did to me was Sweet Scent and nothing else. Although, had it been an Alcremie, then maybe the battle could have dragged on a little bit longer because, well, we all know that Alcremie has a better base stat total than Milcery, and also its special defense is a lot higher than Milcery's special defense. Now, I will admit, I did struggle against either 5 or 6 star Alcremie at one point. I don't quite recall what Pokemon I used or what Terra type that Alcremie was. But as for the Terra type, it doesn't matter. But what's more important is the Pokemon I used. What was it? Well, I don't remember. But whatever it was a pretty good special attacker, and yeah, that was a huge mistake on my part. So, I was barely doing damage against that thing, and it kept on spamming Acid Armor, and yeah, as you can imagine, I was doing no damage to that thing. And unfortunately, I was unable to catch it. But after a few more attempts, I managed to capture that 5 or 6 star Alcremie. Now, looking back at Sword and Shield, I have to admit, I do love the way Alcremie's G-Max form looks. Looks like a wedding cake. I could have owned one for myself, but the problem is, I have to spin in a certain direction to have Milcery evolve into Alcremie, while having it hold one of those sweets. Now, I did take a look up on Cerebi to see which direction should I spin in and how long should I spin, but to me, it's kind of confusing. So yeah, I never once got myself Alcremie in Sword and Shield. Also, as for other G-Max forms, I will admit I did use other Pokemon that had pretty good G-Max forms. Pokemon like Venusaur, Rillaboom, and Lapras. Now, I did want to use G-Max Lapras on my team, but yeah, I had no idea that I could reset the raid gens a certain way until I completed the game already. So, yeah, I unfortunately ended up not using G-Max Lapras. Although, after discovering about that trick where I could reset the raid gens, I managed to capture one eventually. As for the other 2 fully evolved starter Pokemon, Sword and Shield, I guess they look pretty okay too. The G-Max forms, that is. Now, just by looking at those 3, I'm thinking, could they have a different type in addition to their regular types? I'm not too sure. Well, looking at Cinderace, maybe it could be firefighting, but then again, I don't know if that's a good idea because, well, I'm pretty sure someone's going to complain about how there's another fully evolved firefighting starter. I mean, we already have Blaziken, Infernape, and Emboar, so yeah, I'm not really sure if people want to hear any other people complain about how there's another fully evolved firefighting type. And for Rillaboom, Well, I don't know what other type to give it. I think it's okay the way it is. And for Inteleon, well, maybe it could be part dark type or something. Or then again, maybe not because I don't see what's so dark about Inteleon. Yeah, nothing really comes to mind. So yeah, the only change I would give to the starters would be that Cinderace's firefighting. But for the most part, I never really got to use G-Max Cinderace or Inteleon because, well, I don't have anyone to trade with, so naturally, I was never able to use Cinderace and Inteleon's G-Max moves. Let's see, any other G-Max forms I used? Well, I guess there's Urshifu, but I don't think I really used Urshifu all that much. Okay, I believe I also used Corviknight and Butterfree, and, well, I don't quite recall using Sandaconda, so, yeah, I don't think I used Sandaconda. Although I seem to recall trying to capture a G-Max Hatterene, and yeah, that took freaking forever. I'm not really sure what went wrong. I don't know if I used the right Pokemon, or maybe G-Max Hatterene was too much to handle. But whatever the case was, it took me multiple attempts to capture that thing, but eventually I managed to capture that G-Max Hatterene in the end. Okay, good thing Gunk Shot didn't poison me. Okay, see that Palkia's running low on Surf and Ice Beam power points. Well, the majority of the stuff I encounter in here, they're weak to Surf and Ice Beam, so yeah, it's only fitting that way. Okay, I believe there's only one more item for me to collect in here, so after I get that item, I'm free to get out of here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to one-shot Weezing. If not, then I guess I'm going to switch over to Cresselia, because I'm afraid this thing might have Explosion, and if it goes for that, then Palkia's going to die. Oh, Dark Pulse? Okay, well that's not going to do much. Well, as long as I have a decent amount of HP, I won't have to worry about possibly dying due to an explosion. So yeah, back to Alcremie. I never once use that thing because, yeah, getting Milcery to evolve takes quite a bit of time because I have to spin it in a certain direction for a certain amount of time while Milcery holds certain sweets. Okay, I believe the last item I'm looking for is all the way to the left of this place, so hopefully I get that item and get it here. Since, yeah, looking at the time, well, looks to me like I could spend practically the entire video in here, and I don't have anyone to heal me. Well, it doesn't matter because, as I said, once Palkia runs out of either Surf or Ice Beam power points, then I'll switch over to Cresselia. Now, if I do encounter another Weezing, then, yeah, I think I might have to switch over to something else, that way I don't die to a possible explosion, because losing Palkia at this point, that would be kind of catastrophic. Well, anyway, we're only a couple weeks away from Pokemon Day, so whatever's going to be shown on Pokemon Day, hopefully it's enough to satisfy a lot of people. Especially me, because, well, not to sound bad or anything, but yeah, I do want to see what Pokemon Legends ZA is going to offer. Hopefully it's what everyone is hoping for. New Mega Evolutions for certain Pokemon. Now, I did go over that some time ago, like a few videos ago, but yeah, I'm not really sure if certain Pokemon will get Mega Evolved forms. Or maybe it's something else entirely. I'm not really sure what. I mean, you know, Nintendo, they're best known for giving us surprises, or possibly throwing curveballs or something. Now back to Milcery for a second. I'll be honest, I don't think this Terra Raid Battle event was any good because, yeah, there wasn't really a whole lot of challenge to fighting a 5-star Milcery because, as I said before, its stats, they could be better, and its space out total, it's not very good as well. So yeah, maybe it could have been something else. But I'm not really sure what Pokemon could have replaced Milcery in this Terra Raid Battle event. I mean, there's quite a few Pokemon in Scarlet and Violet, so yeah, I don't know what other Pokemon could have replaced Milcery. I want to say Alomomola, but I don't think Alomomola is in Scarlet and Violet. Although I could be wrong about that because, yeah, I don't really pay attention to that thing since it's not a very good Pokemon. Sure, it has a lot of HP, but yeah, that's just it. It's not very good. Well, hopefully there's another 7-star Terry Battle event because, Yeah, it is pretty fun fighting those 7-star Pokemon, even though occasionally I do get my ass handed to me every now and then. But for the most part, I do love coming up with certain strategies to take down those 7-star Pokemon. Although looking back at Sword and Shield, I do remember a Dynamax Mewtwo that I couldn't defeat. And yeah, that was really disappointing. Although, if they were to do something like that again in Scarlet and Violet, then you best believe that I'm all in. Okay, good thing Spatial Ren connected, because if it missed, then I don't know if this Machoke would kill Palkia, looking at how much HP it has left. Okay, I think it's time to switch over to Cresselia, because, yeah, Palkia is out of Surf Power Points, and, yeah, the majority of the stuff in here are weak to, Water types. So, yeah, I'm going to switch over to Cresselia so that way I could score super effective hits on some of the Pokemon that are here. Well, maybe not against stuff like Magcargo and Torkoal, but for the rest of the Pokemon here, yeah, they're weak to Cresselia's moves. Either Psychic or Ice Beam. Okay, that hidden Ultra Ball is the last item I'm going to get here, so now I'm free to get out of here. Although it looks to me like I'm going to spend the next few minutes trying to get out of here, because it looks to me like the encounter rate for wild Pokemon is pretty high. Gee, and I thought that only applied to Black and White, because let me tell you, the encounter rate in Black and White, yeah, it is pretty abysmal. Actually, maybe that's not the right word. Sorry about that. Maybe I could have used another word. Well, yeah, I guess I just want to be fancy or something. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, the encounter rate in Gen 5, it is pretty high. So, yeah, compared to what I'm encountering here, well, I'm not really sure if Generation 5 mechanics were thrown in this game. So yeah, back to Alcremie. Yeah, I'm not really sure why I had trouble with that 5 or 6 star Alcremie. Yeah, it's because I didn't use the right Pokemon. Well, for the most part, at least I don't have to spin around a whole bunch of times just to evolve Milcery into Alcremie, where I could just capture one for myself if I really want to. Although I kind of wish that Dynamaxing was in Sword, Scarlet and Violet. Sorry about that. I was about to say Sword and Shield, but yeah, I guess I kind of messed up because well, both Sword and Shield and Scarlet start with the letter S, so yeah, that's why I got confused for a second. But since there's no Dynamaxing in Scarlet and Violet, I can't really do anything when it comes to seeing Alcremie's G-Max form. Okay, we're in the first room of Stark Mountain, so I should be out of here momentarily. Well, actually, maybe not, because the random encounter rate is still going to be pretty high, so yeah, I guess I'm going to spend a few more minutes in here. So yeah, it looks like I am going to spend 15 minutes in here trying to get out. Well, it's a huge shame that it's going to be that way, because had I gotten out of here a lot earlier, then I would have done something else, like go train up Heatran, since it's only at level 68, and the rest of my team members are almost close to level 90, so yeah, once I get out of here, I'm going to give Heatran its respective moves and give it some levels. As well as some EVs, so that way it could really do a lot of damage. Oh, really? You're going to use Recover on me? Well, this was my decision because, as I said, Palkia is out of Surf, so yeah, this was my decision. Okay, hopefully this Psychic takes down Magcargo. Alright, good. So, since I grabbed all the items in Stark Mountain, I'm free to get out of here. But, as I said before, I have to come back here one more time because I'm going to eventually encounter Groudon. But that won't be for quite some time because I still need to get the red orb from Steven. You know what? I'm going to run away from this Muck because I'm pretty sure it might survive a Psychic since it's a pretty good special offensive Pokemon. So, yeah. Taking down that Muck might take a few seconds. So it looks like I'm almost close to the exit, but yeah, it looks like there's still more wild Pokemon for me to fight. So next time, we're going to get out of here and hopefully do something else. What is it? Well, find out next time. Peace out.